If you don't like what we tell you to believe in, we'll kill you.
Anyway, so do you want to do this?
We got this Charlie Kirk shit.
Charlie Kirk, I want to hear this because I've heard this is a little bit long, but we can listen to it for a while.
It's not that long. It's only a few minutes.
We got some Carly jerk over here. Now, can I maximize this window without it starting to play? Oh, that worked.
Also, I heard this guy like BTFO Kirk pretty well. Kind of wrecks his shit.
Yeah, we didn't finish it because I wanted to do live reacts, but what we saw at first was like, wow.
Well, I mean, it makes Charlie Kirk. I was like yelling, but like, let's just listen. And I'll try to contain. I might be like, all right, pause.
Oh, you gotta do that one. That's how this show works. Why am I so big over here? That's right.
Why is Charlie Kirk dressed like that? Just
the sneakers. Those sneakers. Those like autism, but I'm active sneakers are just really funny.
The sneakers. That's such a stupid. He looks like a moron. All these people look stupid.
The pose he's in. Is he wearing like a tangerine?
Is that David Rubin in the middle there?
Yeah, that's David Rubin. I don't know who this is. That's not Candace Owens, is it? That's another one, isn't it?
Does he chime in on any of this shit?
I don't know.
He does. Yeah.
Alex, so you've seen this whole thing?
Of course he does.
He's homosexual.
Who are they clashing with here? What's
I would
the
straight
clash?
up say now. Does the guy say this? Because I would straight up say to Dave Rubin, I would straight up say, dude, there's so many BTFOs. Charlie. Well, let's just wait. Let's just wait till we hear it now.
So wait a minute. You got the African American, and then the fake conservative.
Yeah,
the trifecta is complete.
Yeah, but there's
the
other
holy trinity of the modern Republican position.
There's other things here that I would have dug in. Not to say this guy didn't do a great job because he did, but there's like one BTFO line I absolutely would have used.
Let's do it.
My question's not about that, so I guess
okay, fine.
But that's not.
We can amend that later on.
Yeah, Charlie, you have come out pretty strong on the side of Israel and Trump and his recognition of the Golan Heights.
Yes.
This was a week after a company called Genie Energy was granted exclusive mineral rights to the Golan Heights. On their board are Charles Kushner, Dick Cheney, Mary Landrieu, Jacob Rothschild, Larry Summers, and Rupert Murdoch, both left and right names. They both stand to make
left and right names, he said.
Billions of dollars off that recognition. How much of the U.S.'s policy of bipartisan Zionism is simply political corruption?
Woo, doggies!
Look at Charlie's. He's looking down. He does not want this.
He's like, how did this question get through? Why isn't the person with the microphone? How did he? Yeah. Like, Charlie, I have a question about lowering taxes and expanding business.
Then you get up there, you start. Yeah, that's how you do it. I want to talk about deregulating.
Look at this body language. Look at this shit.
Can I
the smattering of applause.
Ask you a question?
Shoot.
When did Israel take back the Golan Heights? Do you know the history of it?
You did it. He just said like, what do you mean taking back? You know the history of the Golan Heights. What do you mean take?
It was never theirs. They didn't take it back. They invaded it.
I'm sorry, what?
Take back? They invaded it.
Okay, so there's you do know that there are synagogues dating back to 2,800 years ago in Golan Heights, which would by definition be a Jewish religious convening place, right?
There's a mosque in Jerusalem. That's irrelevant.
Well, it was built on top of a temple.
Yeah, it was built on top of the holy side of the temple that King David built. But that's
you actually pause really quick.
I know.
Now, this guy, I don't expect this guy to. He's doing a great job. He's hitting back with everything I would hit back with. And I don't expect, this is not actually common knowledge because it's kind of like, this is what archaeologists believe, but you can't really find it outside of actually taking an archaeology class in college where they're sure that like the door is shut and no one's listening. That is not, that wall, that Wailing Wall is supposedly the western wall of the Jewish temple that was crushed by Titus in 70 AD when the Jews were scattered, etc. That's what they think, and that is part of this Temple Mount complex, which the Al-Aqsa Mosque is atop. So there's like this wall, and then atop it is this mosque. That is not the Jewish temple. That is a stables built by Crusader Knights.
Right.
And that's the wall that they're praying to. There is no actual remnants of anything. Actually, even Jewish archaeologists think this. It's just nobody likes it, so it's not really talked about.
Yeah.
But non-religious Jewish archaeologists and Western archaeologists all sort of agree. Like the most likely structure was a stables, a place where horses shit. built by the Crusader Knights, not anything to do with any Jewish temple that doesn't actually have any evidence of ever having existed. But let's go forward.
But I do have a question. You do realize that Islam was formed in year 600, more or less, and Judaism's 3,000 years old, and Israel is critical to the Jewish faith? That you agree with that, right?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, okay. So
who cares?
What the fuck does that have to do with me?
Care. What does that have to do with Genie?
Also,
what does that have to do with seizing territory from a sovereign nation?
What does that have to do with you're sitting next to a 3,000 years ago? You're talking about, oh, geez, wow. Yeah. You're talking about a religion. He's talking about 2,800 years old temples and shit, right? I'm like, okay. What would that sitting next to you, how would he fare? You're going with those laws out of that book, the Torah? You're sitting next to a how would he fare in that according to that book? If you obey that book, kill him right now.
Oh God. Don't actually do that. That's just
I'm not saying do it. You're the one that's saying you believe in it. Kill him.
Oh God.
That's what it is.
It's being rhetorical satire.
Just encouraging Charlie Kirk to stay true to his beliefs.
No, but dude, I'm not saying this. I'm saying if you believe in that stuff, prove it.
Golan Heights, you have 2,800-year-old synagogues, and that would be reclamation of the land. But anyway, the history of it says I'll update you on it.
Wait, so anywhere there's a synagogue is Jewish land? You're 100% on that.
Well, no. It's the restoration of Judea and Samaria, which is very, very, very well outlined in the Torah. Let me build it up.
Wait, no. Let me build it up for you.
Policy.
Say that again.
Why is the Torah U.S. policy? Like, okay, outline your shit in this religious text. There's shit in religious texts that's 3,000 years old that don't enter in. So all religious texts are 3,000 years old. Like, the older the religious text, the more we obey it. So we can go back to fucking Sumerian Sanskrit tablets, and that's U.S. policy.
What about the Zoroastrians?
Yeah, that's an old thing. What about Buddhism? That's very old.
Smonk wed and get into Buddhism.
So Torah, Judea and Samaria, the Torah. That's the book the Jews study.
Yeah,
the Jews.
Revere is their holy book.
They hate Samaritans, I thought.
I'm sorry,
what? They really hate Samaritans.
So
Judea, I don't think they should get, like, the Jews who live there.
Judea and Samaria. So if I can build it out for you if you'd like. So in Golan Heights, northeast Israel, it was right after the Six-Day War when 6 different Arab countries decided to invade Israel on their most holy day, on the day of Yom Kippur at 2 o'clock in the afternoon. Syria, Lebanon, Egypt, Jordan, and a coalition of other Arab countries together decided to hit Israel when they were most vulnerable. And so what did Israel do? They pushed back for geopolitical reasons, past Capernaum, past the Sea of Galilee, into what is now called the Golan Heights, where it has always been Jewish land. That has been Jewish land for 2,800 years. This idea of British colonial Syria, that's a made-up country. That is Jewish land, and it always has been. And the idea of Israel is that, first and foremost, there are 41 Muslim-majority countries in the world. Why can't the Jews have one? Why can't the Jews have a single country that they can call home? 2, Jerusalem and Israel mentioned over 450 times
in the Holy Book of the Torah. Getting emotional. When do you see Charlie Kirk
in Jewish history?
Imagine if you got this emotional about like white people.
Pause it for a second. He's wrong.
Right.
His contemporary history is wrong. He's talking about the Yom Kippur War. In 1967, it's unambiguous that the Jews started that war. That's when they seized Golan Heights.
Well, now, hold up. In the normie sphere, that was a defensive action. That is the narrative. That's
fine. But
that's the official narrative. Like you have to convince them first that they started that war. I'm just saying, like that's what's out there. That's what I
understand. I don't care. They can believe that the Jews were going to be attacked in 1967.
Yeah.
He's still getting his history wrong.
Right.
He's still saying Yom Kippur, the most holy day. That was 1973 war. Israel seized Golan in 1967. He's not even getting his fucking contemporary history.
I see what you're saying. Yeah. Gotcha.
He's talking about they all got together. Now it's true that the Jews were not expecting the Yom Kippur war. That is true, but look, I wouldn't want to argue with them about the 6 Days War, but the 6 Days War was not on Yom Kippur. That was 1973. This guy doesn't even get his fucking history right.
Well, the other thing too is just on a more basic level, like Israel supposedly having a right to exist doesn't mean they get to just grab territory in the Middle East willy-nilly.
Well, didn't he just say that Syria is a made-up country?
What is Israel? I mean,
it's all made up.
Israel is literally made up in 48.
Some level,
huh?
Country on some level is made up. This idea, this is the thing, and pull this shit, because if you need to go back to, first of all, this is what happens when you let run narratives is you start talking like retarded shit like this, because basically they've defined it in such a way that they're the only real nation on earth. They're the only legitimate nation on earth. What about England as a real nation? Do they have a right to fundamentally exist as England, as English? What about Germans?
No. Well, they don't have a holy book that says that. So
41 Muslim countries in the world. Where can white people live with free of these people?
Right. Nowhere.
Where's your position on that, Charlie?
Israel is more than just a place. It is critical to their religion. It is critical to their practice. And
it's critical to Islam and Christianity, too.
I would just be like, why don't they go there? Why don't they go there?
It is the most impactful tradition that has built Western civilization. If you look at the great thinkers of the Enlightenment, many of them drew inspiration from the Torah. So yes, the reclamation of the Golan Heights, no, it was not for some mineral.
What did, Mike, can we get a rundown on which Enlightenment thinkers took inspiration from the Torah?
Give me an example. One example.
One example of that, please. I don't know of any. And I don't know anything. Example.
I would have a hard time keeping my cool here.
That litany of bullshit.
I just screamed. I'm sorry. The litany of bullshit.
This is what Ilhan Omar means by Israel has hypnotized the world. Israel has hypnotized Charlie Kirk.
Israel is hypnotized, and look, there is money here, but also it is an amazing thing. Like, how these people get emotional.
But this sounds like genuine emotion coming from him. That he's like really.
He's never animated about the other shit he talks about. He's deadpan. Like he thought, oh, we cut taxes, deregulate. Now he's animated. Same thing happens to Mike Pence. Dude, these people are fucking brainwashed.
Sick. It's fucking sick.
Deal that you're haphazardly putting it back. It is the reclamation of rightfully earned Jewish land that was stolen from them by the Syrians many, many years ago.
How many of your...
When was that? When did the Syrians steal that land from them? Syria's a made-up country. How could it steal land from Israel? A country that didn't exist at the time.
The applause of these cucks.
So you're a pretty big Zionist, right? Sorry, you're a pretty big...
You're a pretty big Zionist for you.
I'm sorry.
Big Zionist for you. That'd be great if he actually said, for you.
Shit.
That would be the funny thing Charlie Kirk would have ever said.
Oh my God!
Big Zionist, you would consider yourself?
I am a proud Zionist and a Christian and a capitalist and a conservative. We can go on endlessly.
Absolutely, of course. But
these cucked identities I have, got a lot of really gay shit that I believe in. We can go on endlessly.
You're American nationalist, right? American guy.
Yeah, I'm a proud American patriot. Yes.
So, like, if there are in LSU, there are Native American burial mounds that are 5,000 years old. Is this Native American territory? Have we violated? I mean, they probably had books. They probably named their mounds a million times. Should we leave right now? Because I mean, it's their land.
Well, you should be asking yourself that question.
I don't.
No.
Here comes Ruben.
No. You ask yourself. I'm not the one making that standard. You are. Ask the man that's holding that
standard.
Huh?
Yeah, so I said he's not setting. He's not the one that said that that's the standard. He's not the one that says the older, the better.
I live here. I came here to ask you this.
I think you're
I don't live here. I came here to ask you this.
What? Well, but that question is for yourself. You're posing the question.
No, it's not. It's for Charlie.
I know. I came here to ask you questions. What I'm doing.
So you plan on leaving the country?
I plan on leaving. Yes.
Look, was the you do plan on leaving?
I mean, at some point, yeah.
What country are you moving to?
Probably France.
You think?
What is he doing now? He's ruining it.
No. This is funny.
Look, I mean,
it's a bit of a setup, but
all right.
Do you think France is a better country than America?
I'll go on vacation. I'm not like living there. Christ.
Oh, okay. Do you think there's ever been a better country than America to exist?
Like Israel?
Like cosmically, yeah, maybe. But like, how do you objectively evaluate countries?
How about generosity, benevolence, productivity, entrepreneurial capacity?
I mean, yeah, Luxembourg's got a higher median income. Sweden, Britain, higher median income. That's a pretty good measurement that we're behind in. So yeah, there are better countries than us.
Okay, so you would say that the European...
Have you ever been to Sweden? I was just in Sweden, and there is an absolutely crippling amount of political correctness where people are absolutely afraid to say anything. I mean,
kind of like America.
Kind of like here.
Does he say that? Please tell me he does.
Absolutely anything.
Yeah, that's an objective measure, right? If we're going by the measure of median income, though, it's better because there's no like.
I mean, I could go endlessly.
Better country.
I could go endlessly on why America is the greatest country ever to exist. But here's the funny thing: I bet you won't leave, because America is the only country in the world that even those who say they hate it refuse to leave.
I don't hate this country.
No, yeah, exactly.
I've never said I hate this country ever. When did I say that? When?
Well, so you love America?
Yeah.
And you want to move to France?
Why not? Yeah, it's a cool country. Like,
which question? Him endlessly rambling is not a question.
What? You said I hate America, asshole. I didn't say that.
Okay.
Wait.
All right. Well,
do you believe that?
I think
what?
we start.
Do you believe that?
Do I believe that I don't hate America? I don't hate America.
Okay. Good luck in France. Au revoir, mon ami. Thank you.
Okay.
Who's this fucking bitch?
He was going on vacation. He didn't say he was moving.
He didn't go anything. Like the standard you set up is the older civilization reclaims land from the newer one. Therefore, you should be telling him to leave and giving the land back to India. That's the trap. He said. You didn't let him. He let them fucking.
Look. Don't get too hard on the guy. These are very nerve-wracking.
I know. It's like so fucking annoying that worked.
It's annoying
this fucking
because
got in the middle of things. This Rubenstein and fucked it all up.
The staircase wit is hot and heavy, and I give this guy all the credit in the world.
No, he did a great job.
He's very brave. It's extremely hard in a room like that with them having the upper hand, in control of everything. The crowd mostly on their side, getting flustered. But he did a great job. No,
I know you're right. I'm just.
But no, supposedly there's two guys that beat TFO him, and there's like 20 minutes apart. I don't know if that guy was first or last or whatever, but yeah. But I mean, I think that it would be great for more people to go and for Charlie Kirk to get like unending questions on Zionism in Israel and just have.
I want to see Ryan Dawson debate him.
It's really like it's just like justify your fucking Zionism. Like, what is this for?
Yeah, no,
what are we getting out of this?
Really would have liked was like, okay, you're going back to a 2,800 year old religious text or something like that. Like, what does that have to do with anything? Also, like you're thinking like, oh, there's a synagogue there. First of all, I'm not even Charlie Kirk's history is it's really wrong and bad. Also, like the idea that Syria stole it, like that's not even true. You found one?
All right, I found. All right, I found the other guy here. Hold on, I'm trying to zoom in on it. I'm sorry. Go ahead and go on with your filibuster.
Before we do that, I want to say like his history. The Syrians stole it when?
Right.
If he's saying like the way that the British and the French, the Sykes-Picot Agreement and the British Mandate post-World War I and all that, if he's saying that wasn't allotted properly, then go ahead and say that. When did the Syrians steal? When did the state of Syria?
Yeah, the idea of reclamation is like, no.
Reclaiming from what? Now, you could say, I don't like the Sykes-Picot Agreement. A lot of people have criticized it. It's pretty bad, actually. Created a lot of problems. But the main thing that caused problems was Zionism. Those states probably could have managed without Zionism. Zionism is the worst force in the world. It's the most evil force in the world. But he's just not true. One, he got the fucking war wrong. He's talking about Yom Kippur War when Golan Heights was seized during the 1967 war. This guy's a fucking moron. He doesn't know his history.
Let me build it out for you.
He's rattled
out for you.
Build it out. No, build out my fucking.
Let me build out that third temple for you.
Yeah.
Come on down.
If you disagree, come on. Go ahead.
I just want to say, great talk, guys. This question's for Charlie. When the Covington Catholic story first broke, you and other conservatives condemned the MAGA kids early on. And to your credit, you retracted the condemnation. But why do you think your first instinct was to join the anti-white pylon on these MAGA kids?
I made a mistake. I would disagree that I did it in the way you described it as an anti-white pylon.
But you joined an anti-white pylon. Why was that your knee jerk? That was the first place it went.
Yeah,
like these kids were disrespectful to an elder with like no teeth who's like hooked on fucking cough syrup and fucking mouthwash. Yeah, a veteran that pretended to be in the army. All this. I mean, your first instinct was to fucking take all of that at face value and condemn these kids for fucking standing there while some creep that probably smelled awful beat a drum 6 inches from their face.
Yeah. I would disagree that I did it in the way you described it as an anti-white pylon.
Look at that body language.
Yeah. I had misaligned trust in 5 headlines that I read and a 35-second snapshot that
are what headlines from fake news outlets, right? You would say they were fake news? Oh, every time except this time, right?
for whatever reason, I was programmed to believe to be true. I did a whole op-ed as a mea culpa, and I think when people make mistakes, publicly they should say they made a mistake. And I said it once, I said it twice, said it 3 times.
Nice shirt.
Which is a lot more than any of the journalists have done recently when they've said Russia collusion for the last 2 years. So.
He said Russia collusion!
And man, you are setting a real high bar for yourself.
Yeah.
More honest than a modern journo. Wow.
How can I get out of this? I'll mention the Mueller probe in the media error.
Golf clap for Charlie.
I want to thank you for the withdrawing the condemnation and everything, but I'm looking more for some insight on the general culture of conservatives and the willingness to sort of betray young conservatives at the first sight.
Oh, come on. That's so steep. He gets up every single day, he travels 6 days a week, and he fights for conservative beliefs.
God, this bitch is annoying.
What is she talking about?
Why would you ever get on stage with somebody so irritating?
Charlie Kirk on mistake, and we're
because he's got no bands, he's got no fire, unless he's talking about Israel. She's like saving him here.
Done with him, and he's betrayed.
Look at the smile on his face. He's like, "Oh God, thank God, this bitch is here." This is why we like uppity blacks.
They got this sassy big mouthed lady is here.
Conservatives, that's really, I think you got to give them a little bit of runway. We're not perfect human beings. I make mistakes, Charlie makes mistakes, and you have to be willing to forgive people. At least you have the audacity to...
Why should we forgive you for throwing these kids under the bus? I didn't throw them under the bus.
I'd be willing to forgive if you could do some insight. This is a rear guard defensive action. You just reiterated what you did. You didn't explain why you did it. You need to examine yourself and figure out why you did it. And I know why you did it. It's because you're just fundamentally fake, and you fundamentally believe the same shit, and you actually worry about the media more than anything.
Mm-hmm.
Because you're concerned about your fucking image.
If you didn't come out and condemn those guys, you're afraid they would be calling you racist, and you wouldn't be able to get away with it.
Yeah, you're afraid of being called racist. You're afraid of your organization being branded that way. You don't want to be associated. You actually think there's elements of racism in this Trump movement, and you don't want to be associated with it because you're worried of losing your fucking money.
Stand up and say for the 4th time that he's sorry. People, that takes a tremendous amount. Just to say you are sorry and I made a mistake takes a lot. When someone says they're sorry, accept it.
He's not asking for an apology.
We can't be like this as conservatives. I'm really against this. I hear this all the time. Well, Candace, you were once liberal. Okay, I made 26 years of mistakes thinking that the whole world was racist. Is it okay? Can I come here? Can I apologize? Can I say that I was wrong? That I misjudged conservatives? That I misjudged Republicans? Learn to accept an apology is what I would say to you.
Candace. It's very nice of you.
He's not asking
I'm speaking more to the general culture
behind
What'd you say, Alex? I'm sorry. What'd you say?
It's just he's got this token black chick that he's praising now. This whole thing just makes it impossible to take Republicans and conservatives seriously. This is all just a fucking fake.
It sounds like he's trying to get back in over the crowd noise and say he's not looking for an apology. He's looking for something else. So I want to see where he takes this.
Yeah. The general culture behind conservatives, not so much blaming you, Charlie, but in general, you as well as many other conservatives,
are human beings
immediately. Yes, but I feel like the issue was that it wasn't that bad even before we had the context. It was
I would say this, that I think we were talking about this downstairs. I think conservatives to some extent have a little bit of PTSD. If you've been called a racist and a bigot so many times over and over again,
I'm starting to get at something.
By you people.
Perhaps, I don't want to say what was going on in your head at that moment, but you might rush to judgment a little bit quicker.
You might do the enemy's bidding.
Yourself from something, perhaps.
Out of fear.
And by the way, this is also a piece of...
Is he saying that stereotype threat caused this? Conservative stereotype threat?
Sounds like he's talking about conservative stereotype threat. But, I mean, look, the funny thing is, Reuben...
Which is a delicious sandwich. I'm fucking starving again now.
I actually hate Reuben sandwiches.
Oh my God, what is wrong with you? Oh, it's because it doesn't have ranch on it.
You got me. You can always put ranch if you want.
You could. It would still
not a rule against it. But I just don't like that kind of meat. It's just
that very beef with the pastrami.
What's on a Reuben? It's like, what is it, pastrami?
I like pastrami. You can use pastrami or corned beef. I prefer pastrami.
I don't like either of them.
No. I don't like corned beef. Pastrami tastes like spicy hot dogs, so I'll eat that all day.
Pastrami is disgusting. It's all glistening and it's
it is glistening. It's
gross.
True. It's oily.
Fucking gross. So is corned beef. Both are disgusting. But,
corned beef is grosser, I think.
Yes, it's a toss up there. But either way, I don't like Reubens. I don't like the idea that Reubens are good. I've always fought against that meme my whole life. The idea that Reuben is a good sandwich. Fuck you. That's a shitty sandwich.
Listen,
it's a bad sandwich. It's not good.
Grilled up with butter on the rye bread.
Sandwiches,
sauerkraut,
ham, Swiss lettuce, and mustard. That's a good sandwich. Fuck you.
It's a good sandwich too.
Nice thinly sliced Virginia ham and some mustard, Swiss cheese, and lettuce. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need that fucking stupid Reuben shit. That's and also gross. Anyway, but Reuben is actually getting at something. He actually understands. I think Candace Owens is fucking retarded. I think Charlie Kirk is only just a little bit smarter. Reuben actually understands the question, and he wants to get this kid off. He wants to get him away because he knows, like, every time they simply say we already apologized enough, he's like, that's not what I'm asking.
Yeah,
I accept you're sorry. Maybe, whatever. For rhetorical purposes, I accept that you're sorry, right? So I can move forward beyond your fucking bullshit filibuster.
Yeah. He's talking about the general culture of, well, I guess we used to call it punching right. Everyone to the right of you.
Reuben is actually answering the fucking question.
Yeah. Let's see what
it seems like. Let's see. Let's go forward.
How the media operates. When you see, no matter how skeptical you are of the media, when you see 20 headlines in a row, all laying something out, New York Times, Washington Post, no matter, you may think they're all fake news, but when you see a whole slew of it, at some point, and this is just...
Now, when you see 20 headlines converging on some young white kids, condemning them for being young white kids,
my immediate reaction is, fuck you.
Fuck this, there's something going on here. That's what you're...
I feel like we have that covered, right?
Yeah, your reaction should not be to, like,
TDS had his covered.
Yeah.
We have the correct reaction, and amazingly, we're right on this. Amazingly, we were totally vindicated immediately.
We're right every time.
Immediately.
Every time they roll out anti-whiteness, fucking you give it a week, and everything that they did unravels and disappears.
But the other thing is, here's the other part of it. The other part of it is, we're not in their matrix, so even if the kids were banting the Indians, we wouldn't give a fuck.
Right.
That's also part of it. And he even said that. He's like, it wasn't even bad before.
Yeah.
Like, if it was like, if that context wasn't added, what you saw wasn't even bad. Like, what you saw with your own eyes wasn't bad. I would have been like, they didn't go far enough. But that's part of why we are immune to this, is because we're already in that mindset. Charlie Kirk is in the mindset. He's not in any mindset. He's in the mindset of, what's the best media focus group play here? What's the best play for looking the best? I don't have an instinctive reaction. I don't have a human reaction. My reaction is, oh shit, there's a media event. How do I handle it? What's my focus group answer? What are my advisors telling me? What's the best, like, most least controversial way I can handle this, right? And that's to sort of condemn the kids but call for mercy. That's what they did. They're like, we don't like what they did, but we don't want them to be thrown in wood chippers. That's a little extreme. Like the liberals, right? Like that's basically that was his play, I think. So it's sort of like, your problem is you're not going with your gut. You have no gut to go with. Not like gut in the bad sense. I mean, you have no heart. You have no soul. You're an empty vessel. You're nothing. You're nothing. No talent.
Sadly, the way Twitter works and our news works, you comment on something, and you may have jumped the gun there a little bit, but I think you've been pretty contrite here. So
I can't wait to learn from you about how not to make mistakes, so we can meet afterwards, and you can teach me how to do that.
Thank you for your question.
Thanks.
How could you not make mistakes?
It's not about making mistakes. That's a fucking ideological blind spot you have, where you agree with the enemy that Whitey's always wrong.
Why can't you self-examine? Why can't you go actually do what fucking... You want to talk about great thinkers of Western civilization? Well, here's one that had nothing to fucking do with the Torah: Socrates and Plato. Self-examine. The unexamined life is not worth living, Charlie. Not making... You want me to tell you how to stop making mistakes, Charlie?
Ooh.
Correct.
No advocating self-harm. That's a 12-hour suspension.
It was a joke. 12 hours suspension from what? From our show? Okay. We're not doing another until Monday.
Yeah, you suspend it till Monday.
All right, fine. Weekend suspension. Fuck.